You're loud.
All right, it's coming through. That's all that matters. All right, here we go. Hey, so good job today, dude. It was awesome.
Thanks, man.
Great close to the series as well, because for me, how to tell it, what is it, everything Donnie talked about last week. What is it?
Right. All those.
But we even particularly just said we're waiting for the last week to really hit it home that you've got to take a shot, which was a great thing.
Yep.
So I did. One of the conversations and questions I had was about basically going back to that issue of fear, that you're not going to be able to answer questions. Fear from the standpoint of, I've tried to say it, and then people want to bring me down this long road.
Yep. Where you feel like you got to have a degree, or I'm not going to know all the answers.
Speak back into that in terms of, I think what you said, which was good. I'm trying to remember the exact way you said it, but you said we tend to want to, respond with complexity,
right?
Versus respond with simplicity.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that in terms of helping people get past their, that one time.
Right. Well, I think I think there's a place, and it may have to do with how much we see that person. Understanding what they're going through, understanding who they are. The more you see someone, the more you're going to kind of understand their hang-ups as far as what it's going to take for them to maybe make a step. And so I think, again, the more you see somebody, the more you prepare for that individual person and sharing.
Right.
Whatever it is that they need to hear to get themselves over whatever hurdle it is that's hanging them up from a relationship with Christ. So I think first step is really understanding that person and where they're coming from. If you know they're an intellectual person, maybe it is going to take a little bit more, homework for you.
Let's read C.S. Lewis together.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Or something. Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think and I love that from Philip's example. Can anything good come out of Nazareth?
Yeah.
And again, he could have answered with this long answer of from Genesis to Malachi. Why? So he could have quoted all these Old Testament verses, but he just said, no, I mean, come and see. Yeah. And a lot of that may have to do with your own. I know I made fun of the preach the gospel always, if necessary, use words thing. Yeah. But if you accompany your good works with verbalizing the gospel, I would say, as a part of your come and see, because people can't, tangibly go and visually see Jesus,
right?
But they can when they see us.
Sure.
So, the more that we sort of flesh out the life of Jesus and understand, gosh,
the more it's represented in our lives.
The more it's represented in our lives, and the more that we do that and we accompany it with that sort of, I'm doing this because, and then, Jesus has done this, and pairing those things together, that come and see becomes a bigger role in that. So in keeping it simple, I think keeping the simplicity there while backing it up with your life and your maybe friendship with that person would probably be the biggest help to that.
Yeah, and when people have asked me, I've said something really simple, which is, honestly, when it comes to this, you can answer as much as you want to try to answer.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people that all the time. It's okay to say you don't know.
Right. Because the answers are out there.
And the answers are there. But the other side of it that I always felt like what people need to understand is that, listen, you can understand the responsibility to take the shot is a pretty clear distinctive, but you have to also understand that you are not the one, right? You are not the one that changes anyone's heart.
Right. Yes.
Somebody even made a comment one time after I was speaking about something, and they're a husband and wife situation where one's not believer and the other is. And they said, they were just like, I thought for sure today something was going to make that difference. And I just kept saying, honestly, if you even have the momentary thought that what you could say could make the difference, you're really kind of already off base.
Yeah.
You're already wearing a pressure and expectation that God didn't want you to have. So this kind of leads into another question that just got texted in. What happens when you miss a shot, which I know you briefly mentioned, and who makes the game-winning shot? Right? And so, really, who is the one who makes it?
Sure.
Which kind of brings us into that piece. I'll let you talk about the when you miss a shot. But who makes the shot is we read it maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago about the watering, the planting of the seed and the watering. And
That's
every time there's an example that Paul gives or that Jesus gives, he is the Lord of the harvest. That's what he says he is. And he always talks about that he would give the increase to the harvest. So that's what God's job is. God's job is to change hearts and change lives. That's his job. That's his job that he only the one can do.
Right.
And that we're called to do everything else. And I think that's where that whole planting and watering thing
yes.
is. I mean, I don't know.
Well, even that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few.
Yeah.
I mean, the harvest is there.
Yeah.
And God brings
workers.
God brings the harvest. So
right.
yeah, I mean, like you said,
so how would you describe it better in terms of when you miss a shot, what actually happens?
Sure. Yeah. So
a better way to view it.
Right. When I missed with Adam, it's one of those that, dang it, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Because I proclaimed Jesus. And so, when you miss a shot, or I guess, I wonder if that question has to do with, if an opportunity is there and you don't take the opportunity.
Oh, well, that could be.
That's a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah.
So, if you take the shot and you miss, you have to trust that God's going to do the work. He is the one that makes the seed grow. You just have to be responsible to plant the seed. But if you miss the opportunity, I would say maybe just challenge yourself to, because like I said, when we have a tendency to share those like fun kind of willy-nilly stories, we always find opportunity to share those. So the opportunities are always there. When you miss an opportunity, you're probably not going to have to wait 5 years for another one. So the opportunity is there.
Yeah.
You may just, or the opportunities maybe, because there's probably an abundance of them. You're probably just ignoring them. So take the opportunities when you get them, and the more you start, it's like when you're looking for a car or whatever. You're looking for like a Volkswagen Jetta, and all of a sudden you start seeing these cars everywhere.
Yeah.
So the opportunities are there. The more you're looking for them, the more you're going to step into them.
Yeah,
is what I would say.
And I think you have to go back to trusting the fact that you didn't create the opportunity in the first place. So if you miss that opportunity,
right?
You could wear a lot of guilt and weight on it, but at the end of the day, you didn't create it. You just pray for another one.
Yes.
You go back to 1 Peter again and go, not just our capstone verse, but the fact that he also said, hey, look, one of the reasons that God doesn't come immediately is he's patient.
Right.
He wants people to have the opportunity. So I think if you trust that he's wanting even more than you are an opportunity to present itself.
Right.
Just be ready.
Yeah, so. and it's one of those things like God uses so many different people and places and things. Like if you miss an opportunity to share the gospel with someone, miss a shot.
Yeah.
Who's to? I mean, that may have been God's opportunity to give you the blessing of partnering with that person.
Sure.
God may say,
okay, of people that,
all right,
you can use.
next.
Yeah.
Right. So it may just be one of those things. Like God will never be done with that person, and if I make a mistake and miss my opportunity,
out of fear,
God's like, oh dang it, there goes that guy. That's never going to happen. So I
agree. All right, well, thanks for being a part of the
guys.
Series. Thanks for asking your questions, and we're going to continue we'll make sure this is posted online for you. And we're looking forward to the next series as well, Investors and Consumers. I think there's a lot of questions on that series.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a ton of questions
Prepare
on that series.
yourself.
So prepare yourself for that. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome morning.
Guys.
Bye.